Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So this is our Estes C05502 3.5 channel helicopter. Picked it up from the source. Pretty good little machine. Been waiting to get my hands on this one for quite a while. It's basically the smaller version to the Estes WE 2012, which is the SO31 by SEMA. This is the copy of the SEMA SO32. So we figured today we just give you a bit of a flight review on it and show you how well it does, and so we're gonna give it a go. Well, it's just no hands right there. It's a really stable machine. I've done no adjustments to this thing at all. Didn't bother touching the blades or even checking the tensions on them. But just from looking at it while it's running, the blades seem to be tracking really well. So right out of the box, I mean, it's doing great. I think the little blue and red flasher light's kind of cool in the front. Could use some more lights though. Could always use more lights. But for flying indoors, it's only about 1 foot long. And so it's about the same size as your typical Lighthawk XL and, you know, others like it. Skyline has their U6 helicopter, which if you guys haven't seen that video, I've got a Skyline U6 video. Same size, pretty much the same sort of machine. You know, they all have their little differences about them and behaviors and whatnot. So, they're not all the same just because they're the same size. So, you can never have too many helicopters, right? There we go. So, I mean, overall, it flies really good. It's really stable. The large tail prop at the back is really good. That's a thing you will find different, you know, even with the Lighthawk ones and a few others. Their tail props are actually a little bit smaller. This one's actually quite beefy. It's actually the same tail prop used in the Aldi Exploiter helicopter, which is a little teeny-weeny bit bigger than this thing. So it's actually really good. It gives some really good authority for moving. It is classed as an indoor-outdoor heli. Outdoor use, I probably wouldn't push it past 5-6 kilometers an hour. It is kind of a small guy, you know, so it's not going to create a whole ton of wind. You know, you need bigger machines for that. But otherwise, you know, it will do the indoor and the outdoor stuff, you know, quite well. You just got to watch that wind outdoors. As far as build quality goes, it's built really well. There's a lot of metal on this thing. The landing gear is nice and big, which I really appreciate that. And it seems to be a really good quality of landing gear compared to other 3-channel helicopters from other manufacturers. Parts access is pretty easy. They do give you a parts list, so I'm thinking maybe Estes is actually starting to carry parts now. I actually haven't called them on this one yet. Because the last time it was like, we don't do parts, we're a distributor. So they may be carrying parts now, but if not, SEMA SO32 parts should match up just fine for you because it's the exact clone of it. Otherwise, I mean, it's a decent little 3.5 channel machine. So if you're looking to get into flying helicopters, you want that stability, you know, factor, you know, even before getting into like a 4-channel quadcopter or something, 3-channel is always a good way to start out. And even in this size category, it's actually pretty good, and it's radio controlled. It's not remote. It is on the 27 megahertz band, I believe this one is. Yep, 27 megahertz. So you can get these in like 27, 49 megahertz, that sort of stuff, a lot of these helicopters. But the idea of the radio part of it is extra long range for one, and two, I really don't need to shut my TV off when I'm flying indoors, even though I do, because I don't want to get distracted or anything. But the radio thing does have a lot of advantages over remote, especially being able to fly outdoors in bright sunlight. You can't do that with a remote helicopter because they're infrared. So whereas your radio signals, much better. Now as far as the radio goes, it's pretty simplistic. You've got your power button, you've got your trim control, and you've got this speed control button. So if you bind your radio properly, make sure your button's up. Turn your radio on first, and then throttle all the way up, throttle all the way down, and then that sets up the remote. Then you just turn the helicopter on, set it on a flat surface, wait a few seconds, and hit your throttle, and away you go. And then this way your button will actually be in the positions it should be for fast and slow. If you do bind backwards, just this switch gets reversed, that's it. So it's not a really huge, major binding issue with these things. The antenna is nice, it's not overly long, and it is pretty beefy. Not that you want to, crack into it or anything, because it will bend and break. It is only, metal. So, but all in all, I'd say, if we're going to put this on a 5-star rating system, I'd definitely give it a good 4 out of 5. I mean, for this class of machine that is, the quality of it, stability, ease of use, the whole nine. It's just a good roundabout 4.5 out of 5, or sorry, 4 out of 5 machine. So anyways, if you want to pick something like this up, they're great. Now, the only thing I don't like about this, which actually keeps me from going to a 4.5 even, is the fact that it takes over 2 hours to charge the battery, and that's kind of nuts. It's only a LiPo battery that's in there, even though it is a good sized one. The charging is done actually through USB only, so I'm thinking that, if I hang on to this bird for a while, I might just convert the charging system over and run a bypass so that I can actually charge off of a regular single cell LiPo charger that'll actually charge this thing up in like, maybe 30 minutes or so. We'll see what happens. I may or may not do it, but that is the only drawback, because it has to be charged from a USB port, like on a computer or a USB power source of some sort. But otherwise, she's definitely a nice machine. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.